Some things that we learn in digital media, we learn about just like the basic equipment. We learn how to set up tripods, how to use lights. We do like basic editing. Digital Media 2, I would say, is a little more advanced than Digital Media 1, because Digital Media 1 is just like the basic stuff. You learn how to use the equipment.
Digital Media 1, you're learning the basics of everything, like how to use a camera, how to use a tripod, and all that.
In Digital Media 1, it's an introduction. So you learn the basics. You spend a lot of time learning how to properly use and care for the equipment, and the care of the equipment is very important because a lot of hands use this. So you need to know how to keep the equipment operational, so that way we limit the amount of repairs we have to do and the spare parts that we do. Then after you learn the basics of how to operate the equipment, you get comfortable getting on camera, getting other people on camera, and framing a shot. And framing a shot is deciding what looks good as a background, how the camera should be angled, directing the person on camera to look and where they should be looking. So that's really the fundamentals of Digital Media 1.
Whereas Digital Media 2, you start making and editing videos.
In Digital Media 2, you already know the basics, but you're still learning and you're still developing that editing style. So there's a lot more creative freedom in Digital Media 2 after you've already learned the basics. And again, you can basically take any idea that you have and make it something that you're really proud of in the end, that other people enjoy to watch.
It was not what I expected to be, because at the beginning, I was a little scared about how much work we were actually going to be doing, but it was like I enjoyed doing it, and I got everything turned in on time, and then I had extra time. So once you get everything done, it's kind of easy. Digital media has helped me outside the class because I feel like I know a lot more about technology than I did before I took the class, so that was definitely a good thing.
I think it's normal to be nervous. I think students, for any time they take a class, they don't really know what it's going to be about until they get in there and do it. Now with digital media, it's for some people and it's not for some people. I say just give it a try and see. And if you like it, continue on with it. Some students have taken a year off from digital media and came back a year or two later because maybe they matured, maybe they just got more comfortable with it. So I say give it a try like anything else and see where it takes you.
I would say to take it. There's nothing really to be nervous about, because you watch videos and you learn how to do things. You learn about the basics before you actually go out and film videos and stuff. You learn each step, so it becomes so much easier.
If somebody's nervous about taking digital media, I would definitely tell them to not be nervous, because it's a very easy class as long as you put effort and use your creative mind. Mrs. Irwin is definitely not a scary person, so yeah.
I would say this class helps with communication skills, because you're going to be, like I said, making videos, and usually you're going to interview someone, and sometimes you work with a partner on things like certain tests and assignments you work together on.
I really see students come a long way in this class. Week 1 they come in and they're intimidated of being on camera. Their communication skills might not be there, but this class really does get you out of your comfort zone and really get you talking to people that you don't normally talk to, because that's life. That's what it's going to be. You're going to be talking to people outside of your friend group. You're going to be interviewing for a job one day. Just learning how to speak with confidence and clarity in your voice, while also being detailed in what you do with hands-on operations, and then planning something. Because like I said with digital media, you plan something from nothing and then you're proud of the end result.
A piece of advice I would give to incoming students, I would say that digital media at first seems like a lot and it's going to be really hard, but it's actually not very hard, and that you learn a lot.
Some advice I'd give to future students coming into this class is definitely that you have to get your creative mind working and put some effort into everything that you do. If someone's looking into this class, I think that they should definitely be prepared to actually put effort in and do work. It's not a hard class, but you have to put effort into it.
So to be a production intern, you needed to successfully complete Digital Media 1 and 2. You need to be confident in helping others and also confident on how to operate the equipment. With my interns, I always say at the beginning of the year, they're not experts. I'm not an expert either. They learn with my Digital Media 1 and 2 students. They work together by kind of mentoring them because they've gone through the program before, they know the basics, so they can kind of put the nervous minds at ease a little bit by working in small groups with the students who are just doing digital media for the first time. Another thing with the interns is when I had my interns several years ago, I didn't have as much equipment in the room at the time. Each year we build on and we get new equipment. So my interns are learning the new equipment, and even the different styles of teaching that I do now compared to how it was several years ago, they're getting a slightly more in-depth experience by taking the intern class. I've seen them really develop their leadership styles. I have several students who want to get into the medical field, and they're going to be working with people and helping people. So this class kind of prepares them for that, even if they're not going into production. I have a student who wants to be a teacher, another student who wants to go into the military, and again, it's all leadership roles that they develop here in their internship through the experience they have working with other students.
Well, this is the first year I've been an intern. Last year I was just a broadcasting student, and then the 2 years prior I was in Digital Media 1 and 2. But it has been really cool so far because I get to teach the students that are just starting in digital media how to use things and stuff. And it's also different from when I was in digital media. What we do is a little different, and it's definitely cool to show other people the things I know how to do and that I like using and stuff.
The benefits of interning with Mrs. Irwin are definitely that it teaches you patience because not every kid is at the same skill level as each other. So some kids require more attention than others.
The benefits of interning, I would say, is you get to help a lot of kids, and anyone that wants to be obviously you need communication skills and stuff like that, even in anything in the real world. So you'll need to learn how to help others and be able to communicate with others. So I feel like that's definitely something that you're doing a lot in this class. As an intern, I have learned more about helping others, especially because we do a lot of hands-on things. So I'm usually Mrs. Irwin needs interns, especially for the early digital media classes, because you learn a lot, and it's a lot of setting up equipment and learning how to use different editing tools and stuff like that.
I would suggest interning for Mrs. Irwin because it teaches you important life skills and it is very fun.
I would suggest it because it's very interesting to see the kids starting out, because that you were there at one point learning that same stuff, and it's just kind of reassuring to know how far you've come, especially learning so much equipment, because as an intern now I'm looking back and I'm looking at all the kids just learning this stuff, and I'm we did learn a lot in these classes. If you were in digital media, or if you take digital media your sophomore year or freshman year, definitely in your junior or senior year, I would recommend being an intern. It's just a cool experience, and you get to teach other kids the same things that you learned, and you're kind of like the teacher in a way, and I just think that's so cool.
The expectations that students have if they are one of my production interns would be that I can count on them. I always tell my students that there's one of me and 20 of you. So by having an intern in the class, I count on that intern to almost be like a co-teacher in a way, but giving advice from a student point of view, which I think really connects with the underclassmen, because they can hear it from one of their peers rather than my point of view as their teacher. So just being reliable and responsible, and also if they have questions for me, that's fine, that's normal. Again, they're not experts, I'm not an expert, but we work out our problems together.